Hello everyone, this is Dennis from Boulder Sounds. This is a brief video on the electric sitar pitch bend vibrato page. This is something I forgot to mention in the original video, and it's a really nice feature of this library, so I want to be sure to show it to you in this brief, hopefully brief video. So here I have my tenor guitar, just to demonstrate how this works on a real instrument. So what happens is we're going to be adding vibrato to the last note played while the notes previous to it that are ringing are not affected. So for example, this kind of effect. So you see I've got a bit of vibrato going here on the second string, and these open two strings below it are unaffected. So that's the way it works on a real instrument. And so now I'll demonstrate how to emulate that in the contact instrument of the electric sitar. So here we are on the pitch bend vibrato page of the electric sitar. The left column is called pitch bend, and this is scripted pitch bend, so it just affects the last note played, as I demonstrated to you on the tenor guitar. So here's what we have, for example. So notice that last note I played was a B. It was bent upward because I moved my mod wheel all the way forward 3 semitones. If I do it in a downward direction, I have it set to 2 semitones. And when I say downward, I mean the mod wheel in a downward direction. I still have it set to 2 semitones up. But if I do want it to set it downward, I can do that. That doesn't happen on a guitar, because when you bend a note, the pitch just goes up, it doesn't go down. But here's what 2 semitones down would sound like. Okay, so let me bring that back to 2 semitones up. Now, what if I want to add vibrato to that note that I bent, and not the other ones, just the top note that was bent? So what I can do here in this column, it says pitch bend vibrato. I turn this on, you'll see some parameters appear, the fade in, the amount, and the frequency. These are parameters of an LFO. Below that we have 7 waveforms to choose from for that LFO. So if you don't particularly like waveform number 1, try out the other ones. They'll give you a different sound. So listen to the difference now. So when the mod wheel reaches the maximum, the LFO automatically kicks in. If I don't want it to kick in quite so soon, I'll just increase the fade-in time. Here's 76%. Okay, and same thing in a downward direction. So, and notice that bend doesn't always have to happen on a top note. It can be any note. It's the last note played. It could be an inner note. Kind of unusual. Okay. Now, the next column says vibrato. This is now assigned. This is just a separate LFO for vibrato. This is assigned right now to CC number 1, my mod wheel. If you want to change it to a different controller value, just use this knob to do that. We have a range parameter as well as frequency. And again, you have the drop-down menu with 7 different waveforms to choose from. So the way this works, you see at the top it says last held note. So what this will do, for example, if I play 2 notes with my sustain pedal down and I use the mod wheel, and I don't hold a note down, nothing happens because I don't have the note still held down. But if I do hold it down, just the top note got that vibrato. Okay? So that's just a really nice vibrato LFO control that again emulates the guitar. The last note, excuse me, the held down note is affected by the LFO. Now, I also have an option here of changing this to global. So this will be more of the traditional way a synthesizer works, whereas everything that you play, the LFO will be applied to it. And on that particular choice, we have just two waveforms to choose from, sine wave and a triangle. So that'll give you this kind of effect. Everything's ringing. Right, which is not the way a guitar is played, but you may want to use that anyway if you're more comfortable with that. So I hope that clears things up for you on the pitch bend, and my apologies for omitting it in the first video. And feel free to write me if you have any more questions about the electric sitar library. Thanks very much.